I have something to tell you. I want to share with you the types of friendships that I've mostly had and the types of people that made up the majority of my friends. What's interesting is I have had a very, very different upbringing than most people, and I think that's really awesome. I love my upbringing. And the majority of my friends through kindergarten to the end of high school and even now are of this specific variety of people. I had a lot of friends that I'd play games with, go over their houses, and do many incredible things that I enjoyed and they enjoyed as well. I'd even share stories with them. I would say the majority of my friends throughout my whole life were in their 40s or older. And they would share their own stories with me. This is what I call a fantastic friendship. And these people were my parents' age or older. I had a lot of elderly friends as well. Most people would have friends at their school or in the same age group. I had very, very few of those. In fact, I would say that for most of the years, I would say they would be non-existent. Now, I usually would try to do my best to keep school and my home life and friendship life away from each other, and that was relatively easy, especially where the majority of my friends were my parents' age and they weren't going to be going to my school anyway. It's really interesting being able to hang out with these people and being a much more mature person than everybody else around me. I actually kind of feel bad for some of these people because they didn't have the same upbringing that I had. And mine was very, very beneficial. Being able to communicate better with students' parents or even just older people in general made me the person who I am today. As you know, I don't drink alcohol, I don't do drugs, I've never done drugs, and I don't plan on doing them. I also don't use pharmaceutical stuff. You want to know why? Because I've learned from my experiences talking with all these people not to be medicated in any shape or form. I've learned that, there's a lot of people who ruin their lives, and I see that. You won't believe at some of the people who I went to school with who are in debt or they have like 4 or 5 kids and they're like in their early 20s and they don't know what to do or all that kind of stuff. It's just really interesting that there's a lot of people. There's actually people that I've met when I was working who have gone through a divorce or multiple divorces, and some of these people are in their 20s or 30s. And it's weird to see how common all this negative stuff happens to these people. And I'm glad it doesn't happen to me because I've put myself into a position where I'm not going to do these negative activities And I've learned that by having all these friends who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and elderly who told me their stories, so then I don't repeat the same problem that a lot of these people that I knew going to school are going through today. I've learned a lot more from socializing with people than I've ever learned in school. And it's so weird. It seems like the majority of these people that I went to school with, a lot of them are very, very conditioned. They have a very, very one-way thinking mind. And that's very, very unfortunate. Right. I noticed that there was something not right in school. And that's why I chose to keep everybody in the school away from me and my family to the best degree. And I'd hang out with all these other friends that I had out of school that weren't going to the same school, and a lot of them, like I said, were my parents' age or older. But just like anybody else who had friends, I'd play board games with them. We'd go to different events like baseball games and hockey games, and we'd go out to eat. Right. I was doing all that stuff as a child, and I still do that today. I'm in my 20s, and most of my friends are still, like in their 40s or older. So that's really interesting.